more fun to be here, I think. I have no idea what it's like to have a child, but I can tell you this little idea that was created in January and now in front of us all here this month has been just unbelievable. Very, very proud. Not of our accomplishments, but proud of you all for being here. I'm not going to introduce the next speaker. I'm just going to introduce the next person who's going to introduce the next speaker. So I'm going to whisk out of the way and leave you with Chris Natsky.
Hi. So have you all had a great day? Yeah. All right, excellent. So tell you what, we have saved the cream for the crop or whatever for the last, okay? So I'm so excited to introduce my good friend, Craig Zablocki. Craig and I have known each other for several years, and he's been a real mentor and coach for me in terms of speaking, but also just really a great friend. And the first time that he and I really got to know each other, Doug McGee had invited us to this 10-day intensive, right?
Yeah.
In Santa Fe. And so we end up rooming together in a hotel for 10 days together. That's how you get to know someone, right? So I just want to paint this picture for you. We both wheel our little carts into the hotel room. And of course, I'm going to be there for 10 days. So I unzip and I place it on the bed and I open it up and I take my clothes and I place them neatly in my drawers and I push it there. And Craig comes in and he throws this thing on the bed, he opens it up, and he goes in the corner, and he dumps his clothes in the corner, and he says, "I'm done." But it was a great experience. And Craig, for those of you who don't know, is just a master speaker. He's been a professional speaker for almost 20 years. He shared the stage with Al Gore and with Tom Peters, and is really a master of this whole idea of unlearning. But what I probably admire most about him is just the kind of man he is and the father that he is. And so just observing Craig and his incredible open heart and how he just treats people and he really touches people on a deep level, it's an honor to know him. And so let me introduce my good friend, Craig Zablocki.
All right, thank you, Chris. That was awesome.
Awesome, buddy. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. How many of you have been sitting down all day? Hello. Here's what we're going to do right before we get going, because there's some empty seats here. There's a whole table here, and there's people sitting by themselves. What's your name, sir, over here? I'm sorry? John. Let's give some love to John right off the bat. Give John some love, and I want everyone to stand up, and here's what you're going to do. You're going to stand up, and I want you to introduce yourself to 3 people you don't know, and do it as if they're a long-lost friend you haven't seen in 3 years. Ready, go. Here we go. Oh, my God.
I can't believe I'm running into you again.
And your name again?
Suzette.
Nice to meet you. All right. All right. Make your way. All right. Let's get some people sitting here. Gloria, I want your table to move over here. Ladies, come on up and move. Yeah, sit right there, man. All right, let's go. Clap once if you hear me. Clap twice. Clap 3 times. All right, make your way up to the front. We want everyone to be inclusive. It's an inclusive thing. We only got another 4 hours today. I've got 500 PowerPoint slides, just kidding. Let's start with a little activity, again, just to see how awake everyone is. I want everyone, hey, man, I want you sitting right here. Let's bring them right here, yeah. Come on in. We want to be inclusive. Bring them in. And in the back, come on and sit down. Mark, come on up, buddy. And let's just make it a nice, cozy, end of the day kind of deal. So, make the OK sign, everyone, with your right hand. Very simple activity. Make the OK sign. Put it on your chin. Boom. On your chin, everybody. On your chin. Chin, sir. On your chin. Chin. Man, yeah, chin. Okay. I had a guy the other day. He's all pissed off. It's on my chin. Let's try another one. Just see how awake we are. Here we go. Hands out like this. Here we go. Hands out. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. Are you ready? I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say clap. When I say clap, you do that. It's simple as that. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Clap. The hell's that? Only when I say clap. Ready? Here we go. Only when I say clap. 1, 2, 3. Clap. All right, who's staying after class? Someone over here. Okay. How many of you do yoga? Raise your hand, please. Wow, awesome. Hands down. How many of you have farted in yoga? Okay. Last week. How many of you let out those silent ones every once in a while? Okay? And then you get, for some reason, you get it, you let it slip, you let it slide, and then you start to smell a little bit. And so you just get a more powerful stance, pretending like, no, I didn't do that. Anyway, it was last week, I swear to God. Last week, you do this thing, and I'm the last one getting into down dog in the group. And I was arching into down dog and just let one rip. I mean, just, let it rip. And I didn't know what to do. It was a quiet time, Doug. It was quiet. And so I found myself almost kind of going, like that. Like what a bonehead that is. So I used to teach high school a long time ago, and guess what I taught in high school? No one ever gets this. Take a stab. Yoga? Nope. Chemistry? No. Math? Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, I was the high school typing teacher. Thank you very much. Give me some love. Yeah. Oh yeah. Give it up. Do you remember your typing teacher? JAK space, home run. I had 5 ninth grade typing classes my first semester. Now, who in this room has high school age kids at home? Raise your hand. High school age kids? How about boys? Who has a high school age boy? Sir, what can we say about high school age boys?
Very distracted.
Well, I'm sorry? Very distracted. Okay, who else? You got one?
They can use like one word.
Yeah. It's like I talked to Charles, who's 18 now, up at CSU, first year up there, and it's like, how's school? Good. It's like one-word sentences, right? Yeah. And I have found it's something happened. It's around 6th grade where we start to take ourselves seriously. You see that happening? My son called me daddy for years. Daddy. I drop him off. One day, I pick him up. He made a concerted effort to say, Dad. It was like, hey, Dad. And I saw it, and he started getting a certain walk. The high school boy walk? You know what I'm talking about? And what's your name again? Chris, stand up and show us that tough, cool walk real quick. Show us that.
Well,
yeah, drop the pants.
I'm not wearing my boxers right now.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, thank you. Let's give it up. Nice job. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's around 6th grade. We start kind of taking ourselves, and I've been walking through high school. I don't care where I'm across the country, and I love high school kids. They're awesome. But it's just the dudes. I don't care where I'm across the country. I'm like, hey, how are you? Dudes are all the same. They're like that, Where they checking to see if light bulbs are on. I can imagine your conversation. Son, how was school today? He's all like, psst. All right, there's my son, the Pez dispenser, all day like that, right? And they used to say, what's up? Now it's like sub, one-word sentences. Now I have found, who has a high school age girl at home? Raise your hand. I have found where they love to talk, right? The dudes, they don't like to talk. The gals, they love to talk. And it's not just with their mouth, it's their whole body, right? It's like, hi, like, oh my God, whatever, much more animated, right? Can we generalize and say, ladies, you're much more animated in general? And what's your name? Dinah? Yeah, and yours? Jane, much more animated than us guys. Can we generalize? Absolutely. And let's say the two of you work together, talking about heart. You would have no qualms about embracing a nice big hug, right? Because you're much more affectionate in general. And sir, what's your name? Steve, you and I work together. It's been a couple weeks. Are we embracing a nice big hug? Yes or no? Yeah. We'll probably go, what's up, G? Something like that, right? And it's a male thing, right? And ladies, where do you go to catch up? This is universal. Where do you go? Bathroom. 2 of you, 4 of you, 8 of you head to the restroom, right? You talk out of the stalls. You talk in the stalls. Yeah, you talk underneath those stalls, right? Like, where'd you get those pumps? Oh my God, those are beautiful. And that's a female thing. Because if Brad has the urge to use the facilities in the next hour, I guarantee you, he will not stand up, head to the exit sign over there, hesitate, turn around and say, oh, excuse me, gentlemen, I'm heading to the restroom. Anyone else care to join me? And we don't do a lot of conversing in the restroom. For some reason, we don't, guys. We can be having a conversation. We hit those doors, we cease talking, right? Brad stands here. I find the farthest one. I'm over here. Doug comes in. He's doing a mathematical equation in his head. He's like, oh, there's the middle. And we're just kind of standing there like that. And we're just we cannot multitask, ladies, in the restroom. We don't multitask in general, but definitely at the restroom. We're just kind of staring at the wall, checking out the grout. Boy, good grout work there. Not bad. And God forbid another dude stands next to us and we do make eye contact. It's like, what's up? And then we're out of there, right? So how many of you see this tendency that we kind of start taking ourselves seriously? See that happening, yes or no? Especially in terms of what we've been talking about all day, about leadership, about heartfelt stuff. It gets kind of heady sometimes. It's like, wow. So who in this room has a 4 or 5-year-old? Raise your hand, okay? How many times, Greg, does your kid laugh in one day, if you had to guess? Can't count, okay? You have one around that age?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time?
And he loves fart sounds.
He loves fart sounds. Okay, just, and his dad farts a lot. Okay, good. Yeah, excellent. Well, they did a study. Now, this is interesting. The study showed that, want to find out how many times people laugh each day? The average 4-year-old in America laughs 250 times a day. And guess how many times we laugh on an average day? Any idea? What? Yeah, 10. Yeah. How many times? Ask yourself, how many times do you laugh on an average day? How about you, sir? Oh. Okay, hey, yeah, we're here about success here. We're talking about leadership. What the hell? Who the hell cares? What the? I mean, hello, let's move on with the agenda. No, I mean, we don't think about it, do we? It's like, just move on. We're so damn serious. Yes or no, as adults? Come on. Well, we laugh 7 times a day. Now, how many of you put this on your cheek initially? Raise your hand. How many put it on your cheek? Why did you put it on your cheek? Why did you put it on your cheek? You copied me. How many of you clapped when I clapped instead of when I said clap? Okay, yeah, most of you did. You're lying. Most of you did, right? There was only like 2 or 3 of you that didn't because you did what I did, not what I said, right? So let's just look at this stat that kids, those 4-year-olds, are laughing 250 times a day, right? What else do you see in those kids that we've kind of lost as adults? What else do they have? Curiosity. What's the number one word they say? Why? They're curious about life. There's a natural, like, wow, curiosity. And why is it that we lose our curiosity? Yeah, nobody wants to say, yeah, we were afraid. What are we afraid of? Not knowing the answer, because as adults, we want to be what? We want to be right, right? A lot of times we'd rather be right than look for the truth or find the truth or whatever. So that's a quality that we're going to look at. By the way, we're going to look at some of these qualities, and we're going to compare them to us, and then we're going to see how we can get more of those innate qualities, because to me, they're innate. So what else do you see besides curiosity? Which, by the way, drives creativity. And who's more creative, kids or us? Kids are. Studies on that. I'm not going to throw all these studies out because we've got enough in our head today from everything else, but there's studies showing 5-year-olds are 93% of our creative geniuses and only 2% of us. So, boom, right there. What else do you see in kids?
Innocence.
Innocence, total innocence. Talk about an open heart. They're like this. Yeah. Well, let me finish this first, and then we'll do something else, okay? Okay, but you're right. Yeah. Hang on, baby. Hang on. Let's just, yeah, they're open-hearted. Yes or no? Okay, good. Now we'll go to spontaneity. How many of you have seen 4-year-olds playing soccer? Raise your hand. 4-year-olds playing soccer? Doesn't matter who's on offense or who's on defense, does it? Yeah, it's like swarm ball. They go this way, they go that way. So I was at Wash Park years ago. Kids are playing soccer. Michael stops in the middle of the field. The rest of the swarm continues. Now I'm standing next to his dad. His dad's concerned. Is he physically hurt? Is he emotionally traumatized? What's up with Mike? All of a sudden, in the middle of the field, oblivious, this kid gets his big smile on his face. His arms start going back and forth like this. He's like, man, I love this game. And then he catches up with the kids again. Now, how many of you walk into your offices on a Monday morning, big old smiles in your face, arms whipping back and forth. Man, I love this job. Raise your hands, please. Okay, yeah, you're lying. Okay, good. Yeah. Well, you do. That's awesome. Because we don't do that. And what's your name? Trisha. We don't do that, right? Why not?
I think we're afraid.
Well, you think we're afraid? Okay. Yeah, because Trisha, you're not going to go to King Soopers, let's say after tonight, right? You're going to King Soopers. Let's say there's peaches there, you love them, and they're like 20 cents a pound or something ridiculous. Are you going to do one of these? Oh, I found my peaches, I found my like that? You may be, all right, girl. Yeah, all right. But let's just analyze that. Why can a kid do that and we don't do that? Why is that? Help me out here. What's that? We're afraid of how we're looking. Yeah, that's probably right. Let's analyze what allowed this kid to do that. Why could he do that? I mean, yeah, he didn't stop and think, gee, I feel like expressing some spontaneous joy, but what's daddy and his colleague going to think of me? They don't give a crap what people think of them. There's a lot of freedom there with those kiddos, yeah? Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you can paint a picture? Raise your hand, please. Okay, all right, hands down. You can't paint a picture?
Not well.
Not well? How about you?
I could try.
You could try. Okay, good. How about you?
Not very well.
Not very well. Okay, good. Who's got a kindergartner, a first grader? Raise your hand. Okay. I walked Brad into your kid's class ask the same question to a group of kids, kindergartners and first graders, how many of you can paint a picture? How many hands would I have up? Every one of them. Both hands. You see what I'm saying? Now, we just had a lot of hands go up, but it still was about 50%, maybe 40%. Most groups I speak to, it's less than 5% of adults that have their hand up. So based on this informal study, you tell me, who has more self-esteem and self-confidence, a group of kids or us here in the room today? Who says kids? Raise your hand. Keep your hands up. Look around the room. There's a couple people holding out. That's all right. Yeah, so it's unanimous, all right? Not a lot of self-help books for 4-year-olds, right? You know, how to become a better 5-year-old, son. Here, read that. The 7 healthy habits of a 6-year-old. But look at all of ours, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? So if what we're saying is true, that they have more self-esteem, then I believe there's a lot to learn from kids. They're not here today in this nice seminar. You know, but to me, we go to these seminars, we do these things. I learn more from children than I have from any other human being because they are exhibiting innate qualities. You know, we're not teaching them to laugh. We're not teaching them to be creative. They just are. And that's who we were. I'll never forget, I was asking that question, how many of you can paint a picture? And there was a kid there with his grandpa, and this was down at the tech center. It was the Colorado Farmers Association, about 700 good old boys. And I saw maybe a dozen hands up, and there was this kid with his hand up, like this. So I had the mic. I went over to him, I said, what's your name? He's like, William. I said, William, how old are you? He's like, 6. I said, can you paint a picture? Now listen to what he said. He was like, yeah. Now I'll repeat that. He went, yeah. It wasn't, well, kind of, maybe, no, wouldn't be good, or stick figures, or nah. It was simply, yeah. And then I asked him a stupid question. I said, how about all your friends at school? Can they paint a picture? He's like, duh, yeah. I'm like, okay. He was an outgoing kid. I said, hey, you mind stand up on the chair? He stood up on the chair. I said, look at all those adults out there. Most of them said they couldn't paint a picture. Why do you think that is? And I give him the mic. And he's looking around. He looks around, he's like, oh, they just don't have their paint supplies. My God, right? So again, self-esteem, self-confidence. If we had our paint supplies, so we kind of overcomplicate things, yes? We have our paint supplies. So if I said, I had some paints here and a paintbrush, and I said, you paint me a picture, I'll give you $5,000. Could you do it, yes or no? Yes. So you were lying a minute ago, yes? You were. Okay, good. How about you?
Definitely.
Definitely. How about you, sir? Of course. So how many of you can paint a picture? Raise your hand. Yeah, we all can. But when you believe this distorted lie that says, I can't paint a picture, what don't you do? It becomes self-fulfilling, right? And so we kind of overcomplicate things sometimes. Like, oh yeah, can you paint a picture? Sure I can, right? So good. What other qualities do you see in kiddos? What else do you see in kids that we've kind of lost? Yes, sir?
Living in the moment.
Living in the moment, right. Because where do we spend most of our time?
Yesterday or tomorrow.
Yesterday or tomorrow. Yeah, we're in the future, the past, we're not right here. Kids, the clearest thing. Why do we love being with children? Because they are in the moment. You know, my son, when he was at that age, it was such a blessing to be with him. Because that's all he was in the moment. It commands our presence. Children do. They just live here. They're not thinking, gee, what's going to happen to the stock market in 20 years? When am I getting my MBA? When am I going to get out of the success seminar? That's just in the moment. One of the biggest things I say is, children, when they're playing Lego, what are they doing? That's it. If you could take one thing from my little bit today, it's like when you're playing Lego, play Lego. But if I asked how many of you can play Lego, a lot of you would say, not good, Or we start comparing our Lego to other people's Lego. Oh, he does a better Lego than me. Or he was born with better Legos. Or I should have done Lincoln Logs. Where's my therapist, for God's sakes? You know what I'm saying? When they're playing Lego, they're playing Lego. Say, live in the moment. Great. What else do you see in those kiddos? What else?
Unapologetically themselves.
I'm sorry?
They're unapologetically themselves.
Yeah. When we use the word authentic, who is it? Us or them? They're just totally themselves, right? And that is just a joy to be around, again. And it's like so we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. What else?
Energy.
I'm sorry?
They're not afraid to fall.
Yeah, exactly. They fall down, they get up. The fear of failure doesn't even exist for them, right? So let's look. So could we say that kids are they have less fear than us, yes or no? Yes. Okay, let's check this out. Yeah, let's look at our fear right now. Everyone close your eyes. And I know for some of you this will not be a stretch because it's been a long day. Keep your eyes closed. Think of the most embarrassing moment of your life, okay? Go back in time with your eyes closed. Think of the most embarrassing moment of your life. And I'm going to tap a couple of you on the shoulder. And if I tap your shoulder, I'd like you to come to the front of the room and share that most embarrassing moment with the entire group. Just a couple more of you. Eyes closed. Here we go. Most embarrassing moment of your life. Okay, awesome. Open up your eyes. Thank you. Okay, who are the people I just tapped? Raise your hand, please. Go ahead. All right, absolutely nobody. I'm always waiting for some wise guy to tap his partner. Yep, you got me. It's been a long day, Brad, I know. So I didn't tap anyone. Yeah, do it again. I'll do it. I didn't tap anyone, but what happened the moment I said I might tap your shoulder? What happened? What's that? Oh, shit, I better figure something out. Oh, yeah, the second one. I want to tell that one, right? How many of you had this thought, don't tap me, don't tap me, don't tap me? Or I'm going to have to lie. I'm not telling that one, okay? So that's an example of fear. And kids are naturally fearless. They're pretty fearless, right? What's the number one fear? I mean, what are the fears that we have? Well, before we do that, let me ask you this. I need a volunteer right now. Come on up here. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn something new, and you're going to be supported. Who are all the people willing to come up? Raise your hand. Okay, I got about 10 over here. Keep your hands up. Wow, okay, good. So about 10% of us had our hands up. Let's go back to that first grade classroom once again. I walk in there, I say, hey, I need a volunteer. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn something new. You're going to be supported. How many hands would I have up? 100%. 100% of them. So what's up with that? You tell me. I mean, we've been here all day. Learn about, open our hearts and, participating in life. What is it? Trust in what? Trust that it's going to be okay.
I mean, for this group, it's a lack of trust that they're going to be safe in front of them.
Okay, did you have your hand up, please? Yeah. Okay, then you're speaking out of turn. Because you had your hand up. I want to know from someone who didn't have their hand up. You know what I'm saying? You're projecting on, well, that's why they didn't do it. Come on, Lise. Who didn't have your hand up? Raise your hand up now. I'm going to ask, go to the, yeah. Why didn't you have your hand up? I'm just curious.
Fear of the unknown.
Okay, good. The fear of the unknown. So how many of you can relate to that? Raise your hand. We have the fear of the unknown. So it's easier not to put your hand up, right? Absolutely. And if we're a basketball team, let's say all of us are on a basketball team, you don't want to miss a shot, do you? No, do you? No. So what's the only way to guarantee we'll never miss a shot? Just don't shoot. Start passing the ball. Don't take shots, right? So you take a 4-year-old, you move your 4-year-old to Florida. How long would it take for that child to adapt to that new environment? How long? Just like that. Boom. But you take your high school kid, move across town, what happens? Oh yeah, resist. Or how about us right now? So you don't want to fail, right? And you're afraid they know. Good. Who else did not have your hand up? Did you have your hand up? No. How come?
Just didn't want to go up there.
We got time to figure it out. Why? Oh yeah. Oh, I love this. I've been there before. I want to give everyone else a chance. Yeah, I love that one. That's good. That's good. Let them have a chance of the glory. Okay, fair enough. You didn't have your hand up?
I didn't, because I didn't want to be embarrassed.
Great. How many of you do not want to be embarrassed? Raise your hand. Excellent. This is a question I want to ask. How much energy do we spend as human beings trying not to be embarrassed? Huh? Think about it. Someone tell me. How much energy do we put into not being embarrassed? Andy?
Probably half.
Probably half? Wow. That's honest. How many of you would say close to half? Half of our energy goes into not being embarrassed. It takes a lot of energy to not be embarrassed. Do kids care about that? Yes or no? No, they can have spaghetti sauce, boogers all over. No big deal. They don't have that concept, right? So here's my whole thing about embarrassment, right? It takes a lot of energy to not be embarrassed. So instead of trying so hard not to be embarrassed, I believe we got to get used to being embarrassed. Are you with me here? So our job is to become embarrassed more often and then not make such a big deal of it, right? So you're driving home, you're at the stoplight, people check you out kind of instinctively. I want you to stay there at the stoplight and not look who's next to you and start working it, work it. Exaggerate if you have to. Give yourself 5 seconds to go, like that, right? But here's what I want to happen right now. I want us to be okay being embarrassed. Just be okay being embarrassed. So everyone stand up. We're going to do a little something right now. Plus, it's that time of day, all right? So on the count of 3, big cheesy smile, arms up in the air, and with a big smile, exclaim as loud as you can, I'm depressed. Let's just warm up on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm depressed. Good, get more into it. 1, 2, 3. I'm depressed. Now, you start your morning with 5 of those, you won't be depressed long. You know what I'm saying? Here's the activity. It's called Everybody Go, and here's how it works. I'm going to say everybody go. I'm going to do a sound or a movement or a combination of both. Your job as a group to say yeah, and then duplicate that sound or movement. Are you with me? So if I said everybody go, you would go, yeah, boom. All right, here we go. Everybody go, hi there.
Yeah, hi there.
Everybody go, I've got it.
Yeah, I've got it.
Good. Now, how many of you are willing to give 100% to this exercise? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Who are the slackers going to be? Slackers? Okay, good. That's all right. We can slack. But I want you to try to duplicate exactly what we're doing, and we're going to get some speed going. And then after a while, I'm going to go, everybody go, and I might point to someone, all right? Now, here's what I don't want you to do is this. How many of you are thinking of something right now to do? Yeah, I don't want that. Because the spontaneity of a child, the funnest things in life are those spontaneous things, right? They're not planned. So I don't want you to plan anything right now. But if I point at you, everybody go, and you're like, yeah, I don't know. Then we as a group go, yeah, I don't know. Are you with me here? All right, so let's get rolling on this. Everybody go, okay, Craig. Yeah. Okay, Craig. Everybody go, yeah. Everybody go, big biceps. Yeah. Big biceps. Everybody go, yeah. Everybody go, yeah. Everybody go, yeah. Everybody go, yeah. Woo-hoo! Everybody go,
Yeah. Oh, wait. What?
yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Everybody go, yeah. Everybody go,
Oh my God.
yeah. Oh, my God. Everybody go, yeah. Everybody go,
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody go, snick. Oh, yeah. Everybody go, whoa. Okay, give us a big hand. Nice job, nice job. Have a seat. That was beautiful. Beautifully done. Okay, well, I hope we learned a little something there, Doug. I don't know what. So let me ask you, how many of you felt a little uncomfortable or embarrassed doing that? Raise your hand. Okay, good. And what was it for you? What was it for you, John?
It felt childish.
It felt childish. Okay, good. So tell me more. Yeah. So what do you have? Okay, so it's childish. Okay, and
Yeah, it goes back to how do you look, how it's perceived, how it looks.
okay, so how many of you were looking at him during that exercise? Raise your hand. Yeah, everybody. Oh my God, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's the whole thing about like, we're so, yeah. Okay, good. How many can relate to that? Raise your hand. We're so worried what people think of us, right? And we have a certain image to portray, and we're a coach, or we're this or that, and we got to portray this. And what is it? What's the cost of that? Let me ask you that. What's the cost of that?
Bondage.
Bondage. Okay, great. What else? Potential, happiness, connection, self-expression. What's that? Okay, thank you. Now you're curtailing yourself now, Lisa. Okay, good. I know, whatever. Okay, what else? Yeah.
Yeah, freedom and inauthenticity.
Yeah, freedom, man. It's total freedom. And it is. There's a difference. I think silly is what we just did. Silly is different than stupid, right? Stupid is, drinking and driving in my mind is stupid. But by the way, when I work with college students, I'll throw out, we do this thing and all that, and we get them laughing, and I throw that study that the average 4-year-old laughs 250 times a day. How many of those 4-year-olds are drinking a 6-pack to have that kind of fun? Anybody?
0.
Yeah, maybe in Arkansas, but not here, okay? Do you know what I'm saying? But what do we model as, talk about leaders, as a parent, what do we model to our kids? We're all serious Sams during the work week, but give us a few margaritas, and then we'll do this silly thing, right? So silly is different than stupid, and it is childish, or childlike perhaps, but there's a certain, I was back east, I was introduced right after lunch, And it was a big important group with dyes on, all this. And I stepped forward, and I was still eating my meal, and I got to go up. And I said, good afternoon. And out of my mouth, a good chunk, a piece of cracker, I could see in my peripheral vision, is flying. Now, how many done this before? You're talking in front of a group and something flies, okay? Some kind of saliva or food product. Now, honest to God, sitting where Doug here is, was this woman, and she had this poofy hair. It was like this poof hair. And I kind of, I was, good afternoon, welcome to, boom, it landed on her head. So I'm figuring, I figured A, I could ignore it, right? But everybody watching her head the whole speech. Or B, I could kind of make my way over and kind of, swat it off her head. Or C, I could ask for it back. So I've got leeway at my job. I said, ma'am, you got something in mind? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah. And we're doing this little thing. I said, thank you very much. I put it in my mouth, continue my speech. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, I can get away with that stuff, right? So the fear of embarrassment. So what would it take to have every hand? Let's go back to the hands up thing. What would it take to have every hand up in this room when I ask for a volunteer? Not in theory, no PowerPoint, but in reality. What would it take to have every hand up when I ask for a volunteer? Money. Okay, good. How many of you would come up for $100? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, great. Do I have to bribe those first graders to participate? Yes or no? No, think about it. You go to the playground. When I went to the playground with my son, he's playing, and I'd sit on the bench. I never once had my son sit next to me and go, gee, Dad, this looks like a blast. Look how much fun they're having. Yes or no? No, kids participate constantly, and then we stop because we're afraid. And look at this. There's nothing to fear. We got this nice solid room. We're at the Marriott. We got nice air conditioning. What's to be afraid of? What's to be afraid of? The walls are safe. We're not in Iraq. There's not, for God's sakes, right? So what else would it take to have every hand up in this room? What else besides money? Yeah.
No cameras.
No cameras. Okay, yeah. Put your phones away. And why is that, Andy?
Vines, we don't want to be part of one.
Yeah, okay, good. So we're concerned about our reputation or, again, how we look, right? I want to look good, right? Kids don't care about that. And the freedom, like Michael on the soccer field, that is joy. That is pure joy. Vegas is pleasure. You know what I'm saying? People get on the plane in Denver. I have a gig out there. Woohoo, Vegas. Everyone's all jammed. But inevitably, I get on the plane in Vegas to come back to Denver. It's like, get the hell out. Shut the hell up. Oh, God, I got a headache. I lost all my money. Everyone's pissed off. So it's short-lived. Pleasure is what we want as adults, but it's joy that is an eternal thing, like Michael on the soccer field. Joy, right? It's just freedom. What else do you see in those kids? Yeah.
So you could threaten us and say if we don't go up there, we have to take our clothes off.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, let's do that. Either you put your hand up or I'll take your clothes off. How many of you have? Okay, good. Yeah, Doug's the first one. I want you to take my clothes off, Craig. Little joke, inside joke with Doug and I. We both have girlfriends, whatever. You married, the whole bit. What else would it take to have every hand up? Yeah.
A guarantee. We'd have to know what we're coming up for.
A guarantee. Okay. Does anyone know what's going to happen 10 seconds from now? In this whole planet, yes or no? Are there any guarantees in life, sir?
Nope.
None. So if you're waiting for a guarantee, you're going to wait to put your hand up for a long time, forever. Right? If I'm waiting to know exactly what's going to happen, da-da-da. And the information, it's going to be fun. You're going to learn something new. You're going to be supported. Was not enough information. See, we want, how does this tie into what you guys have been talking about all day? Oh, we want success, But it's almost like I want to be guaranteed that I'm going to be a great coach or whatever your path is, right? And then I'll jump in. Then I'll go all in, But kids are all in without worrying about the outcome. And someone today, I'm confused because there were so many great, wonderful, let's give those guys a big hand again. You guys are awesome. Brad, yours is awesome, right? But I'm forgetting stuff. How many of you forget stuff every once in a while? Yeah, good. You're liars over here. You never forget anything. One thing about kids that we can all say is that they're plain honest, aren't they? Like if I was talking, I had a dangler, right here in my nose, like a crusty dangler. You'd be going, okay, that guy doesn't know, loser, whatever, $5 he doesn't, you would, but if nobody would tell me. What if a 5-year-old was right there? What would they do? Hey, you got a goober on your nose, right? And let me ask you this one. This is big. This is huge. Who's more emotionally honest, kids or us? Kids, they laugh when they're happy and they what? They cry when they're sad. And what do we do with our emotions, especially us men? What do? We suck them in, right? And ladies, what's the only emotion for men in America? What is it? Anger. Yeah, that was quick. Anger. Yeah, right? And here's the cool part. Again, kids teach me about being emotionally honest. I remember 2nd grade. Charles comes home. He's like, Daddy, they made fun of me for crying. I'm like, oh, it's okay to cry, Charles. It's okay. But a lot of boys don't get that. And they repress that. And the psychologists will say the repression, usually it's not anger. Below that is either sadness or fear, right? But it's legitimized. And when we talk about being loving leaders as men, we got to start being more emotionally honest, like our kids, like our little boys. We teach them in our society. It's a macho thing. I travel and anger's legitimized. These guys at the airport, the plane's canceled. Son of a, what? I want to talk to the blah, 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 right? Now, someday, ladies, we are going to be more evolved. And you'll see grown men at the airports. You mean my plane's canceled? Give me a hug, baby cakes, yeah. But that's the more honest emotion. It is. We're just, it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. So, good. What else would it take to have every hand up in this room? Trust, blah, 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 blah. We could go on, and we don't have time. We could write them all down, be 5, this, if this was right. But watch how easy it is. Everyone put your hand up. Go. That's how simple it is. Now, hands down. It's simple as that. Like paint a picture. Paint. Put your hand up. Put it up. That's it. Right? And what's possible from a group or an organization where everyone has their hand up? What's possible from that? Everything and everything. And ma'am, if I did say, come on up, and if I said, we're going to do this dance and I'm going to have you, do this, at any point of that journey, you could say no and go sit down. But we stop ourselves way back here. And we don't know. We don't know what the possibility is, right? It's like that unknown. We get afraid of it, but it's a fun thing. 2 fears we're born with. What are the 2 fears we're born with? Does anyone know? I'm sorry? Death? Yeah, falling is one. Very good. And the other one is landing. Very good. Landing. Come on, guys. That was a joke. Brad, come on. Come work with me. Falling, yeah, I'm trying my hardest. All right, we're going to get up and move again. So falling is one, right? And the other one is loud noises. But what's the number one fear for many adults? What is it? Public speaking. How many of you, for not everybody, but for some of us, how many of you are scared to death to talk in front of a group? Raise your hand. Who's frightened to talk in front of a group? Like frightened. And what's your name?
Christiana.
I'm sorry?
Christiana.
Christiana, come on up. Let's give her a big hand. Come on up, Christiana. Yeah, thank you. Come on up. You're awesome. Hey, watch your step on this little thing here. Awesome.
Really well.
That did. Because Christiana, here's the deal. What is it Christiana?
Yes.
What is she modeling for everyone in the room today, right now? Courage. Keep your hands up. How many of you see courage right here? Raise your hands. Now check this out. See that? That's what they see in you is courage. Thank you. Hands down. Wow. So of all the people today that can teach us all to go out into the world and be more courageous, you know who it is? It's you. Do you get that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm not being courageous. I do this for a living. Brad wasn't being that courageous because he does this a lot. Doug has done some speeches, but for you, this is scary.
Yes.
And you're up here anyway. So she is being totally courageous. She's being courageous. There's no PowerPoint on courage. She's being courageous. Do you get that? Mm-hmm. And that inspires all of us. Are you with me, yes or no? So just for coming up, let's give her a stand ovation. Everybody, stand ovation. It's all for you. Woo. Yeah. Awesome. Have a seat. We're not done yet. You're doing great. Take a break. Excellent. Awesome. Have a seat, everybody. That was awesome. Now, how many of you were just given 100% in that stand ovation? Raise your hand. I want to see all the people that were given 100% in that stand ovation. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3. Can I have you 3 gentlemen please just stand up real quick and duplicate exactly what you just did? Ready, go. Ready, go. Okay. Nice. Awesome. Thank you. Can I work with you real quick? Yeah. And it's Barry. Barry, cool. So Barry, that was 100%, right?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, good. So was that 100% for you? Yeah, okay, you can sit down, Barry. This guy's going to be more fun. Sit back up. Yeah, here we go. All right, and tell me, I bet you're
Rich.
Rich, so that was 100%, right?
In that moment, yes.
In that moment, yes. Okay, great. What does 100% mean, mathematically? I mean, what is 100%? All you got. So let me ask you a couple of rhetorical questions, okay? Question number one. You're not going to have to, but could you double your energy for $10,000 cash, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So you were lying. Yes, excellent. Okay, good. So that wasn't 100%. If you could double.
Made me realize it.
Yeah, okay, good. So that was more like 50%. Am I right? Sure. Okay, good. Next question. You're not going to have to, but could you, if you had to, could you triple your energy in a stand ovation for 5 seconds for $1 million, yes or no?
Sure. Try. It's try.
Yeah, okay. So that if that was the case, it wasn't 100 or 50, it was more like 30, 33 or so. Okay, good. With me? Great.
All right.
All right. No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
You got me.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Because here's the cool part. Again, I love this. You know, instead of trying to be, I'll do this with some guys. I'll do this with like a corporate group. And the guy, the CEO guy will be standing here, no, that was 100%. Yeah, could you double it for, nope, I sure couldn't, Craig. You know, like the guy would rather be right than see the truth. And at least you're looking for the truth, right? And that's the cool, let's give him a hand for that. That's awesome, yeah. We're not done. We're not done yet. We're not done. So I was working with some soldiers down in Fort Stewart, and at lunchtime, they were sharing stories of heroism, like true heroism, like no way. And we've all read stories of, grandmothers lifting up cars when there's kids trapped below and that kind of stuff. So last question, all right, take it on. And we see it in our society. Someone walks in the door and says, either you give 4 times more than what we saw a couple minutes ago, or we all die today. Could you do it, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, see how quick he was? Absolute. He knows it. He knows it. So that would imply that we didn't see 100 or 50 or 33, right? We saw. Let's give him another big hand. Nice job. Nice job. Yeah. So I, like my man here, I go through life oftentimes like this. You know what I mean? How many of you can relate to that? You know, we go through life like this. And that's what these good coaches are for. It's like you were talking about the coacher at the, what do you call that thing when you panel? The panel, thank you. The coacher panel. I'm going to call it the coacher panel. Kosher. The kosher panel. It's a good Jewish panel of coaches. So they were, you know what I'm saying? Are you with me? Yes or no? Doug, stop. Yeah. Who's farted before? Raise your hand. Come on. Yeah. Okay, good. Now I'm lost. What was I talking about there? Todd? Anybody? How many of you get lost? Yeah, I do too all the time, man. I get lost. All right. Still lost, right. So the point is that I, like you, go through life like this, and we do, and I like my buddies, Todd, I'll be whining, and he'll say, shut up, Craig, or, we're calling each other to give more. And we don't, so let's try this again as a group, collectively. Let's get closer to 100%, and let's see how we can rock this room. And again, it's all for you. I want you to stand back up, 100% just for 3 or 4 seconds. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, go! All right. Nice. Okay. Right on. Speech. Yeah. We just woke up 3 people in the back. What the hell's going on? Is it 5 yet? Okay. So, Christina, I'm going to do one quick. I'm going to use this once. All right. So here's the deal. Do you have kiddos? Christiana. Do you have children?
Yes.
How old are your kids?
13.
13. Do you remember when they were 5?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the only graphic I'm going to use. Let's say I'm going to use your kid. They have 100 units of energy or focus to play Lego when they were at 5. How many of those 100 units are just playing Lego? 100. How many of you would agree? When kids are playing Lego, they're playing Lego. Okay, good. So all they're doing is playing Lego. Okay? Now, you have 100 units of energy or focus right now to talk to the group. All right? What's one thing that you might be afraid of if I ask you to talk to the group? What's one thing?
That my voice is shaky. I can't think of a word to say.
Okay, shaky voice. How much of that is how much of your 100 units is worried about that right now? What percentage?
The shaky voice, maybe 10.
Maybe 10. Okay. How about what to say?
What to say? That's big. That's 40.
40. Okay, we're down to 40. What's something else that you might be afraid of if I ask you to speak to the group right now?
Nobody finds it interesting what I have to say.
Okay, good. Nobody finds it interesting. How many of you can relate if you were up here right now? Okay, yeah, so not interesting. So how much of your remaining 50 is worried about not being interesting right now?
Probably good 30.
A good 30, okay, good. So we could keep going. Are you with me? Yeah, something flying out of the mouth, zipper down, that kind of stuff, right? A little bit of that, we'll throw that in there, okay? So out of your 100 units, you have, let's just say, 20% to do the task at hand, right? Or so. Now, what would it take for you, Christiana, to get to 100%? What would it take?
To know that everybody else would be willing to do the same thing.
Okay.
Make a fool of themselves if necessary.
Okay, so how long would that take to get them to sign a verbal agreement or a written agreement so that they would be willing to do exactly that?
Well, it helps that I don't know most of these people, so I guess I could do it because I'll never see them again.
Okay, but the point I'm getting at is that the shaky voice, you might have to practice over and over. Yeah, what to say, you can memorize a speech. Interesting, you can take a comedy class, or you could get your PhD so you knew more than everyone in the room, et cetera, et cetera. It might take you years to get to 100%.
Yeah.
Or you could do this. Who's someone in your life that you love a lot? Who do you love a lot?
My daughter,
Okay, what's her name?
Olivia.
Olivia. Okay, great. So instead of 100 or so people in the room, let's make it 1,000. All right, more pressure. You with me? 1,000 people in the room. Here's your daughter. She's on stage with you. Are you with me? Now, your daughter's in harm's way right now. She's in harm's way. Would you stop at nothing to help your daughter? Of course. Would you be worried about a shaky voice? Would you be worried about what to say? Would you be worried about what they thought of you? Would you be worried about being interesting? No. In that split second, how many units of energy or focus would you have?
100.
100. So you went from 20% to 100% in a split second. No Dale Carnegie course, no PhD, no new hairdo, no memorized script. What changed?
It was really important. It counted.
Okay, it was really important and counted, but where did your focus go? From where to where?
From me to her.
Yeah, and in that moment, what did she become? It was courageous to be up here, but in that split second, what did she become? How about the word fearless? Anybody? Yes or no? Do you see that? There's nothing. I mean, your daughter's in harm's way. Boom! This stuff evaporates. Are you with me? And so sometimes as leaders and all this, we focus on this. How can I get better over here? Blah, 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 right? But if the second there was something that trumped all of this, your love for your daughter, helping people, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You were all in. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's give her another big hand. Thank you very much. That's it. That's it. Awesome. Let's give it up. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! Woo! Yeah. Did you get that, Brad? Oh. All right, baby cakes. Okay, here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a minute or two to talk in your table. Again, a talking time. But instead of sitting, you're going to stand, because we've been sitting all day, and you're going to talk about what you got from this. How does this apply to everything you've heard today about leadership? What did you get personally from this, and how can you apply it to your life? We're all going to stand up, and you're going to talk for 2 minutes. Ready, go. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just thinking of the, what'd you call it? The kosher. Yeah, the kosher. My mind is, that was funny. That was good. That was good. That was good. Did you get something? What'd you get? What'd you get from that?
What did I get from
Yeah.
it? It's
Yeah.
too much energy spent on fear and
Yeah.
distractions.
Yeah, just focus in. Yeah, cool. All right, guys, give yourselves a big hand. Nice job, nice job. Have a seat, have a seat. You all can sit down. All right, I want 2 people to share, but I want you to be succinct. I want like a bold statement, not this long paragraph, all right? Who would like to share what you got from it? Just like as succinct as possible. And don't let that burden you. Yeah, could you please stand in nice and loud?
What I got was that, we shouldn't be embarrassed. We don't notice people making mistakes as much as we think we do. I talk in front of 2,000 people sometime, I face on a Jumbotron, and I make mistakes, and I ask my friends how I did. They say great. And when I mess up, I'm so focused on it. I'm red, I'm shaking, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to keep remembering that even if I make mistakes, no one's making fun of me, no one's thinking about it except for me. And I just
Right. Okay. Good. Let's give her 2 claps. Someone from this side, just, yeah, both of you. Go ahead. You stand up and go.
I just use an example with our table that we're considering a merger at our company. And we went through the process of how bought-in we were, and we're more bought-in than not. So we're going to go through with it. So the fact that we're going to do that, we should be fearless about how we approach it.
Yeah.
And not look for any hesitations in what could be wrong or flaws, a fly in the ointment or any of that, and just go for it because we've already made the decision to commit to do it, so do it fearlessly.
Awesome. Let's give them 2 claps. Someone over here? Yeah.
Mine was my takeaway was just to be present.
Yeah.
100 points to be present in whatever I'm doing.
Awesome. 2 claps. And she adhered to the succinct thing. That was cool too. Yeah, I didn't have to say that, did I? Man, I made a big mistake there. How many of you make mistakes? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's all right. It's owning our stuff. I mean, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about that embarrassment stuff, and I want to give you an application. I was up in Wyoming at a meth conference, not a math conference, a meth conference, okay? About 500 people in the room. And all morning long, it's a serious conference. And sometimes our seriousness gets in the way of what we're talking about. We're getting serious about it. We want the right answer, and it's all intellectual. Anyway, we're watching these PowerPoints all morning long, and people are like, oh my God, oh geez, oh God, there's another meth lab. So I'm on after lunch. And people are like this, they're like this. And I come out and I'm like, hey everybody, waka waka, nick, nick, nick. And I got nothing. People are like, oh, what the hell's this guy, So I stopped after a couple minutes. I said, sir, did you get what this meant? He said, yep. I said, what did that mean? Well, that we model behavior. Okay, good. So let me get this straight. We're trying to prevent meth use here, is that right? That's right. And we're off meth? Everyone in the room's off meth? Yep. And he's like, come on, let's move on with the program, I said, well, I want you to take a gander around the room. And I kind of mockingly went like this. I said, hey, stay off of drugs. Have fun like me. And at that moment, I said, I think that's why they're using meth, folks. I said, of all the people that should be living a passionate, joyful life as an example of what it's like to be off meth, it's you. But if this is what it's like to be without meth, give me the meth, I told him. I said, give me some, because, hey, stay off of drugs. Have fun. They got to be lively and full of life, but and they got too serious about it, right? So later on, I said, ma'am, would you come up and help me do something? This woman told me, she said, I will not be embarrassed. I said, okay, that's cool. I won't make you do anything. But I asked her a few questions, and she was able to tell me that her need to not be embarrassed was this much. Her need to help with this terrible drug was this much. And my job was to reverse that. Don't take yourself so seriously. And when we don't, then we can take other things more seriously. Are you with me? Our energy can go to helping our friends, our daughters, or coaching, or whatever it is that we all do. And the joy of Michael on the soccer field is right there. It's amazing. And we were doing Brad's exercise about dropping this and dropping that, and letting go. It's like we're going to have to let go of everything anyway. Why don't you start a little earlier? Letting go of these things, of opinions, of judgments, letting go of everything we can. And in that place of letting go, anything is possible. Joy, happiness, all this stuff. Crying if we're sad, the whole bit. Okay, thanks. Yeah, thank you for the push-up thing. All right, what we're going to do right now is I'm going to answer some questions. I've been talking a lot of questions, but I'm going to have the help of someone who's going to help me with that. You are. Yeah, that's right. What's your name again? Miguel. Let's get Miguel up here. And instead of a stand ovation for Miguel, we're going to do the Go Miguel dance. Everybody on 3. Everybody, here we go. Go Miguel on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Miguel. Go Miguel. Oh, man. That was weak. That was weak. Ladies, could you please sit down? I want to have the guys do a solo. Go, Miguel. And guys, I want you to move it and shake it. I know it's getting late in the day. It's been a long day. I want you to get into it. Go, Miguel, on 3. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Go, Miguel. Go, Miguel.
Oh, my God. Okay, good. Let's give him a hand. Nice job. That was beautiful. All right. So we're going to do a team exercise. Could you come up real quick and help us with the shirt? You're going to be my arms. You're going to ask me questions. I don't care what kind of anything about today, leadership stuff, and I'm going to answer the questions with your help. Okay? So you're going to stand behind me. Come on up, and your arms come underneath mine, out through the sleeves of the shirt. So you go, yeah, and then pull the whole shirt over his head. There's a hole for his head. Your head goes down below my head. Put your head down. Get your head down back there. There you go. Now look left or right. Get your arms out as far as you can, Miguel. There you go. Boom. Let's give it. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Yeah. That's all. Thank you, Chris. You can sit down. Woo. Look at these babies. I don't know why I keep doing that, but I like it. All right. Boom. Let's get going. Let's get started. Who's got the first question? Anything at all about leadership? Anything? Yeah. Over this side of the room. Maybe over here. My ears are on. My ears. There they are. Right there, bright and early. Shout it out, baby cakes. Anything at all. Come on, folks. Time's a ticket. Boom, boom. How do you live with an open heart? Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I hear like an openness of the heart. You know, there's a few things we can all do. How many? There's 3 things that we can do. These 3 takeaways. Number 1, this is good. Number 1, do this. Embrace everybody. Embrace everybody. Okay? Number two, here's what you do. You do like that. Go like this. Go. It's a purging of your soul, ladies and gentlemen. Purge your soul. You can do it, Doug. And the third thing, this is big. Here's what you do. Open up your heart. You want to do this? You want that kind of thing? Yes or no? You want it?
Yeah.
Okay, then listen up, because this is big. This is big. Open the door to love. And walk on in, ladies and gentlemen. Walk on in. Walk on in. Okay, another question. We got time for another question. Yeah, anything. Come on. Yes, ma'am. What do I want to be when I grow up? Okay, good. Oh, man, let me think. Well, I want to do this kind of rhythmic dance. I want to be a rhythmic dancer. I'd also like to be a chicken. I know it sounds weird, but like a little chicken. And I also like to, move to Hawaii. What's up, dude? What's the scoop? And, I can't, how would I say this? Boom. I want what she does. I want what she does. Let me just have a little water. No, I'm not going to fake it. I'm going to actually drink a little water. Hang on. Mm-hmm. That's good. Let's give this guy a big hand back here. Nice job. You're awesome. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Thanks.
Give it up for this guy. Big hand. All right. I hope, did we address all the questions we need right there? Good enough. How many of you were anywhere else while we were doing that? Were you anywhere else? Okay, great. That's the thing, man. It's just being in the moment. It's being here. It's being silly. It's having fun. Man, I'll tell you what. I have so many stories of my kid the whole way along, but I want to share one last story that happened this time last year, because I'm an empty nester as of this year. He's up at CSU. But this happened last year. He goes to the Waldorf School in Denver, and he is, the only sport there was basketball. So it was the first day of basketball practice. And I'll talk about leadership. This is leadership. The year before, by the way, out of 10 teams in the Denver area that are very small schools, like Christian schools and what have you, we were dead last, right? First day of practice. Coach says, go shoot 10 free throws, count how many you make, and then just jump back on the baseline. So all the boys did that. They jump on the baseline. He said, if you missed 3 or more free throws, I want you to get on the line and run a suicide. suicide is you sprint to the foul line and then you come back and you sprint to half court and back and you just sprint back and forth. It's a tough run. And so about 60% of the boys get on the line. And this is one of the coolest moments of being a dad. And I joke with Mark, I'm the assistant of the coach. I was like way down there. But anyway, so Charles steps up the line. And one of his buddies says, "Hey, Charles, you only missed 2. You don't have to run." And he turned around and said, "I'm part of this team." He didn't scold the other boys. He just said, "I'm part of this team." And then every other boy jumped on the line. And that was the first day of practice. And last February, we were up in, first time ever for the Denver Waldorf School, we were up in Glenwood Springs playing Uray in the quarterfinals of the State A championship. We lost the game, but it was unbelievable. But one last story. The night before, and this kind of sums up what everyone's talking about today. The night before, Charles said to the team, "Whatever you do tomorrow, whatever the outcome is, we will have no regrets if we give it our all." That's all he said. And all those boys, I mean, I'm so emotional about this game. It was so amazing. We were down by 14 points in the fourth quarter. We tied it with seconds left. And Uray got the ball. They threw up a half-court, game over. We were all crying in the locker room. But they don't have any regrets. He's not going to look back when he's 35. "Man, we should have given it more." They gave everything. And the outcome took care of itself. It's just a freaking game. Who cares? But the fact that they gave it their all was everything. And that's what I learned from those little kids. They're all out. So I would encourage all of you to not hold back, man. Life is short. How many stories did we hear today about loss? We all have loss in our lives, right? And we don't know when. We just don't know when. I lost my sister like that. Boom. Didn't know. So we don't know. So today's the day. Today's the day to tell people you love them. Today's the day to hug your kids. Today's the day to put your hand up and come up even though you're scared. Today's the day to risk it, because the joy of that's what it's about, right? So I got 1 minute and 15 seconds left, and here's what I'd like to do before we go is I met a guy. Here's the guy, great shape, 82-year-old man. I said, "What's the key?" He told me. He made a commitment to do 1 or 3 things every day for the last 60 years. And what they were was this: 1 push-up, 1 sit-up, and 1 jumping jack. That's all. That was his only commitment. And all these books on, how do we do this and be successful, that's the best advice I've ever heard. Because how many of you could do 1 push-up, 1 sit-up, and jumping jack? Now, if you don't do the first, what never happens? The second, third, or fourth. So before you leave in 36 seconds, here's what I want you to do. Take 1 thing, very, very small, that you're going to do for the next 21 days, leaving today, so that something hits with you. I don't care what it is. You're going to tell someone you love them. You're going to smile at someone. You're going to spend $5 on a stranger every day for the next 25 days. You're going to, whatever. But I want you to do that, and you only have 20 seconds. Don't put too much thought into it. But keep it very tangible and very small. If you want to do 20 push-ups, great, but just say, "I'm going to do 1. Are you with me? Okay, good. And then I'm going to randomly check in 13 seconds. I'm going to point to 3 people to share what they're going to do. So you got to go quick. Ready, go. Go, go, go. Todd, I don't think we have time. We'll do it later. Okay. Good. All right, what are you going to do for 21 days?
I'm going to serve my wife, who just gave birth to our new son.
Okay, good, but that's so vague. That's a great thing.
Do it
Something specific.
Well, I tell her I love her every day. So,
Do you? Yeah.
I got to do something.
Did someone help him out?
Bring her Starbucks? Yeah, she likes Starbucks.
Yeah. Okay, 1 Starbucks every day for 21 days. Great. Excellent. What are you going to do for 21 days?
I'm going to write on my kid's mirror something awesome, something positive on my kid's mirror every day.
something positive on his kid's mirror every day. That's awesome. What are you going to do?
4:30, good things happen when you're up.
Wow. You're going to get up at 4:30 every day for the next 21 days? Excellent. Excellent. What are you going to do?
I'm going to laugh at myself in the mirror for 30 seconds a day.
She's going to laugh at herself in the mirror for 30 seconds every day. Let's give her 2 claps on that one. John, what are you going to do next 21 days?
I'm going to make one scary call every day.
One scary call every day. 2 claps on that. Boom, boom. What are you going to do, sir?
One joke a day.
One joke a day. I love that. Boom, boom. What are you going to do, my man?
I'm going to respond to my youngest daughter's letters that she gives me every day.
Oh, really? She gives you a letter every day? Oh, that's sweet. And you don't respond to every one of them? Let's give them 2 claps for that one. What are you going to do? Commit. That's a vague one, but that's all right. We'll talk about that. Let's give her 2 claps. All right, guys, we're out of time. Did you guys have a good day, yes or no? Okay, so I want to thank everyone that was involved in this. Greg's going to come up in a second. You guys were awesome. Hope you got a little something out of this. And I love you. I love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Brad. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.